I said, welcome back to the reality with Dolphin and Amir. I said, welcome back to the reality with Dolphin, and I'm your host, Dolphin Mhlawuli from Ramphahlele Mashite. If you are new to this channel, come on, I know it's been a minute, but we are here namhlanje. Please do subscribe and of course do share this video. So today we have our guests, Musa Mhlawuli or Mhlawuli, but guys, Oja is the Cape, little understand. Let me just give her give him the platform to introduce himself to you guys, since now I can't say it properly. Hi, okay?
Go on, Sisi, how are you?
Good job. What's up? Like the confusion. It's like when I say research thoroughly, but I know stress. We are here. Anyway, Utlile podcasting have the reality with Dolphin, so please introduce it to my people. Obelelorna o Musa o Jakai o Jarang for a living, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Good day, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are watching. Igama lam nguMusa wachumlilo. Mhlawuli.
I said it right. I said it right.
Yeah. So Musa Mhlawuli is a young lad from the Eastern Cape, eGqeberha.
Oh, okay.
Ndikhulele in between eGqeberha and East London. But originally my family is from Etikeni, but kuse Alice.
Oh, okay.
So that's where my family is. My mom is from Alice, my dad is from Alice, but Gehuchi in the Eastern Cape, says Kwazakele in Gqeberha. That's where I grew up, and then at some point in my life, I went to East London, stayed in East London for I think 7 years. So my life has been in between East London and Gqeberha. So Musa is that young man.
Okay. Na personally ke le Dolphin ke rata Musa le Pinky. So hor Pinky what's about next to ba Musa. Le my playlist ke Pinky ke Musa. And then there's this song man that made me fall in love with you, but I'm not in love. I'm married. You know, the song ere Haufi Le Morena. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if maybe it's your best hit, but to me, it is your best hit. Like, honestly. Haufi Le Morena, like, Haufi Le Modimo wa ka. So, speaking of that, ke nyaka tseba rena o thomile jwang music go tlemang gore o kgethe this genre ya gospel. Yes, re botsa rena o tswa kae, stage number 1. Ke o boletse gore o tswa kae, ke ra like you Musa o tsebishe Musa o tsebishe batho ba ka Musa gore Musa ke mang. The reason why I do this all the time is because even when I search on Google, you're not there. Musa Mhlawuli on Facebook, and sometimes batho ba faila go relate alwena because they don't know your story. You know exactly. That's why it's really easy for motho, even a stranger, gore a re ga bona o boomile ba tle ba use your background against you. So that's why ke lefa this platform gore o tlhalosetse batho ba ka, if you don't mind, o ba tlhalosetse ka disotlego tso tsamaileng ka ra jona, you know, for gore o fihle o le mo le go gona gone jwale.
Okay. It's been a long journey. That's all I can say. But where it all started, kwakuse Caweni. I'm religious in this way. I'm Christian.
Okay.
Dikonza ZCC.
Oh, okay.
So my background has that. It has church. It's been that. My home is I think it's 5 meters from church. I literally can see church like this. So I was I've grown up in that environment where it has been church. Ndikhulele Sunday school at the ZCC, there's Sunday school. So Ndikhulele Sunday school. From there, I think abantu abakhulu. There are denominations at my church. There's Sunday school, there's mukuku, there's your female choir, and then there's your male choirs. Ukuya. So from Sunday school, I think I was at the age of 14. From Sunday school, you don't just go to Mkukwin. You have to be at a certain age, before you go to that part, like and have something that you do there. So from that 14-year-old, they took me from the Sunday school and said, because of how you are here, can you please come here and worship with us here? So I was given over that you should be with these older guys, at a very young age. So from there onwards, people discovered that, no man, this boy has a gift. Let's give him roles here. I started Robinisha Kosha at a very young age.
Wow.
I was very young. So people would come to me, things were said at church, our churches, that at a certain age we need you, or that was singing. So from there, I even remember there's a guy in the Eastern Cape, Batingu Tembelani Mbilini. He's an artist. So he once came to me and said, "Bruh, the way you are, I really need you to be a part of my backing vocals."
Oh, okay.
And then at the time I knew nothing about what this guy was talking about. So he took me in. He guided me when it comes to music and a lot of things. He said, this is how we go. This is how you project your voice when you are doing backing. And then you don't sing the same way you are singing when you are leading a song. Such things. So as growing up, I then started to get people saying to me, "Bra, why are you not taking the route yourself? Why are you not trying to discover what you are capable of doing when as an individual? Leave Butembelani, leave everyone else, and try and see what is it that Musa can do for himself." So I think it was 2014, if I'm not mistaken. I then to myself was like, okay, let me try and ask around, where do I go, what do I do? So 2014, I partake on a journey. I see on Facebook there are auditions. Zion Africa. Zion Africa was doing auditions for backing vocals here in Pretoria. So I take a taxi. In fact, I take a bus from the Eastern Cape and take the risk. I've never been to Pretoria. I know no one here. I knew my cousin, Usnetemba. So I called Snetemba and said to him, "Bruh, I'm coming to Pretoria, so can you please give me a place at least to sleep? And then in the following morning, I'll go to the auditions." So, Kinamela bus, I get to Pretoria. When I get to Pretoria, I sleep the first night, and then the following day, in the morning, Snetemba takes me to the audition in State Theatre. When I get there at the parking lot, Snetemba recognizes Winnie Mashaba. She was at her car.
Oh, okay.
So he says to me, "Isn't that Dr. Winnie Mashaba?" And then she looked at us, Lee and I, astonished. What are these guys talking about? And then Abatamele, because she was going inside. She was part of the panel. Yabatuba, auditioner, the people that came through. So she was like, "No man, your face looks familiar." And then I'm like, "Familiar from where?" Then she says, "No, I think I've seen your videos. You've tagged me in one of your Bentandu Gwenza a cappella maker."
Oh, okay.
Those
I know them.
Yeah. So I would do those songs, like pick artist songs and create songs from there, and then tag the artists from Instagram. So she saw that, and then she was like, "I also thought I was going to reach out to you because you are so talented. Are you going in for auditions?" And I said, "Yes." And then she said, okay, fine, I'll communicate with you as time goes. I have your Instagram, I have your Facebook. I know who you are now. I recognize you, so I'll text you from there. So I was then shaking and saying, yo, I now have to go and perform for these people. But then I went in, I performed. I still remember the performance was a Xhosa song, Liza Lisidinga Lakho. And they said, no, try and do another song. And then I took a hymn that was Kenale Modisa. Then there was a guy who was playing a keyboard there. So he played the keyboard for me. They were so amazed. And when I went out, Dr. Winnie followed me. When I went out of the audition room, she followed me and said, give me your phone numbers. I really have to make this like work fast. So from there I was so excited. I think that was my ticket into the industry, because after that we recorded with her together with Mapula Munyepao. There's a song we did together, Haufi Le Morena, featuring Dr. Winnie Mashaba.
I love that song.
That was that was
you were there.
Yeah, that was my breakthrough in the industry. And then from there onwards, then she gave me maele hore. This is then time where you can also dispense to whatever that you want to do. And then I went into studio, recorded my first album. That's where I met Upink. So after the recording, the album went out, but I wasn't really happy about it. But it's an album that sold. It's an album that people knew me about. So after that, I started then getting to know a lot in the industry. I discovered a lot of people, Sipodi Tusaho, Mpo Tusaho, Solim Moholo. There's a lot of people I got to communicate, because certain people saw the talent and said, no man, we need to find out who this guy is. Some texted, some we planned to work together, but certain things didn't work. I featured Binky, and then from there I started growing as an artist. I started doing live performances. That's where I grew with Abu Fortune Pora. Came COVID, the time COVID, and came Abu Fortune Pora, Mashawus Diveng, your election Baratwa. Those guys were there with the live sessions. So the live sessions, I think, Nazo, they had a huge impact, because with that, people got to engage and see, okay, this is Musa Mhlawuli, this guy can sing. Some people would text you from there. That's where we got gigs, and then that's where the journey started growing. I then, after that, recorded with Azile Mvandaba. He's also from the Eastern Cape. I recorded with Strike Moshe. That was, I think, last year. But as the time was going past, there were people like your Bingi that would feature in, do backings with, being in studio, like do mini clips, post, and then people saw us from there. Then we started venturing into this other genre that is popular in Limpopo, Manyalo.
Yes.
Yeah, so we started venturing into that. That is something that is working for us a lot. If I would make a comparison, I would choose Manyalo over gospel, because when it comes to music, it's more relatable, but then gospel is calling. There's nothing you can do, So Manyalo, you get to be free. People buy Manyalo, aba negotiate the price. They pay you well, and when you go to them, you know that you just have to do your work and deliver to those people, and then you go home. So that is the journey. That is how everything panned out.
Okay, so Dr. Winnie Mashaba. Dr. Winnie Mashaba shuka montle khopela na mafunja how, and then obereka le yena, as you did mention, or oberekile the artist agency, right? So there's someone out there olong gore lena unyaka go ba Musa, do you understand? And ga ba tsebe di challenges tse le kopana le tsona ka magare ga especially
industry.
gospel,
Yes,
not
yes.
the quiet or the what.
Yes,
We
yes.
are talking about
Gospel
this
specifically,
genre,
yes.
gospel. You know, because when I look at you, I see a clean person that I could go to. You know, each and every time if I needed advice or something.
Yeah.
Obviously, ke lebella gospel artist ke re, "Hey, ke Jesu, o Haufi Le Jesu." Do you understand?
Yeah,
So I'm talking about those challenges, like ke gopola o hlalosetsa batho ba ka hore na are there any challenges? If they are not, then it's fine. Are there any challenges that you guys come across, you know, tse leng hore di ka ruta someone out there o leng hore o envy bophelo ba hao or o envy bophelo ba motho o mongwe? Yes.
In the gospel side, one of the major challenges that I can put on table now, and I think it's something that has been there from the commencement of the journey, financial aspect. The gospel that we do doesn't have money, and o gapeletšega gore if you are working o ya go tšea tšhelete ka gae. If you have a wife o ya go tšea tšhelete ya ka gae le bana ba gago ye o e berekelang and put it in this thing, you know. So I think it's a huge challenge that has been there, you know, but it's mainly because to us, in fact to me, I highly believe that gospel is a calling and it's something that I have to do. It's not only for me, but it's for the pleasure of Tiko and Mkonzai, because it's something that he has anointed in me ukuba kifitishe to other people. So when you take that money, you believe that Utiko is still going to put in something there, you know. So the challenge that is there is that, and because we are in gospel, I don't like saying this, but I have to say it. You know, because we are in gospel, we are being taken advantage of the fact that we are doing gospel and it's for God. You know, so people, when there are events, people don't want to compensate you what you charge. Because they say you are doing this for God, and some people will pay you, but they will come and negotiate. You know, imagine coming from the Eastern Cape. You are coming for a gig in Gauteng or Limpopo or Mpumalanga, I'm making an example, and then let's say you charge 15,000 for transport, accommodation, your services. You know, you have to rehearse. Maybe you have to come earlier to the event. So within that 15,000, they say, no man, we only have 5,000. That is not even a quarter of the money. So I think in gospel, people take those advantages that we are doing this for God. And because you don't have anything, you don't have any gigs, you are going to take it, you know. So we end up in those challenges because we want to be seen. You are still promoting your brand. You want people to know more about you. So o gapeletšega gore o tšee a gig that is not beneficial for you. Then when you go home to your wife or your kids, because the whole money you've spent on your transportation, you've spent on your food, and the service that you delivered is only for people to see. You know, you still have to look good. People have to see you and admire you, because we can't run away from the fact that this music that we are doing, some people idealize. People see you as an idol. People see you as someone that is a celebrity, you know, someone that should be celebrated because what you are giving us, refodisha, you know. But then when utwelela not looking the part, when utwelela not talking nice, you know, or bolela dilo tše batho di ba kgatlang, people get disappointed because they see you as this celebrity or an idol. It's not something ratang, but because we are in that public space, people get to visualize us in that manner. So the challenge that is there in specifically in the gospel industry is that we are not easily, in fact, we are not happy 100%, because not paying people well, what I just mentioned to you. So I think what I would tell someone out there is that I don't know khotlelela, because I've noticed that ka khotlelelo, as you are growing and building, you attract a lot of people that you don't know. You attract a lot of people that you, when they see you, they say, okay, how much you charge? Then when you bring your price or your quotation along, some people would say, okay, this is reasonable. Mo e leng hore go ne batho ba leng close, or people that knew the journey when you started would be like, this is a lot of money. We can't give Musa this amount of money. So that is where Linyacho comes in. So I feel what I can say to someone is that just try. If you have to post a lot of videos, to do that, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's looking to say, this guy, his story or whatever that he's giving, Yarafudisha, to a point where we really need him. People nowadays, people do unveilings, funerals, weddings, and they can call you to do gospel for them wherever you start. You know, so those are the challenges that are in the gospel industry.
Okay. Like I did mention earlier, one of my favorite songs, ke Haufi Le Morena. A question I'm at Mokorna, Kweno Tongwala Landikosha. And if Kweno Tongwala Landikosha, King into inspiring or Ungwale Dikosha Chudungalang. I'm not talking about Haufi Le Morena only, or maybe Kabla like I you know,
Yes.
because Koshela Esh. I can't go la magalene eketeleja kiara tagana like no to go jakile kwa godimo because e re fodisha moyeng ke na le pele fa gore gona le ba rongwa ba ileng gore ba kgethegile gore ba tle ba fodisha rena moyeng go ka dikosha go swana le lena. So what inspired the song?
Haufi Le Morena. I think, you know, Haufi Le Morena was inspired by my father's death, my father's passing.
Oh, okay.
Because how he left this world was just something else. My father, I don't know if I should tell the story, but let me just go with it.
The reason why we are here is because, for example, Lena, I think the interview that I had with Paula, people said I was dramatic, you know, for crying, you know, but they don't understand and they will never understand. This is why I always say this to people, worry, you will never understand because lihuki is something along worry, how easy worry we live. So, how will I experience how you went from the previous interview? They talked about their experiences. So you can talk about it.
Yeah, so it was 2017 when my father passed. He had tumor, cancer.
What? Oh, okay.
So it was on stage 4 when it was discovered. When he went to the hospital, they said to him, there's nothing we can do, Kawena, because shitje ufedile. The only thing you can do now is to go home and spend time with your kids and family. Because it's you know, so in that course, I had to go and stay with him. So I went to stay with him. Kamuhlokomela, asisharp, afedile. He was literally bones, you know. So the day he passed, it was the 27th. He was seated here on top of me, like kiduti kamurao gagage, you know. He was laying backwards towards me here. So he shared words with me on the day he passed and said, just make sure that you look after the family. Now I'm taking everything and giving it to you. Make sure that ohlokomela bana ba gaeno. When a day comes where you have a family of your own, please make sure that you don't forget my wife. You don't forget bana ba gaeno. You know. So at that point, there was a song that ran into my mind before he said other words before passing. The song was Haufi Le Morena. Because after that, when the song rang into my mind, I sang. He sang with me, you know, and then he was like, "Anghuatamo, Are, now I'm going to tell you the last words. I'm leaving. Ke a Haufi Le Morena. This song is specifically given to you by Mangeloya Arenu." You know, there's no day in my life that that is a souvenir for me. I hold into that day because it's something ye ke feelang gore Modimo was there at the moment. Uno dumela papa ka gore a ye gaufi le yena. So when I went into studio, it was not long. I think it was last year, if not 2 years back, when I recorded the song. It wasn't easy because I had been duck and diving away from recording that song, you know, but when it came, I then was so emotional in studio. I remember the backing, we laid the backing lipinki, it was there, and then when I had to go into the booth and record my lead, I then started to visualize the moment of my father. And the Holy Spirit also was there within that moment. So imagine the emotion that comes with the Holy Spirit and your personal experience. I recorded, and I only took, in studio usually we take maybe 3 takes. Like for the same lead, you say, this is my first take. Haufi Le Morena, Haufi Nyana. Then you say, let's put it aside, I'm going to take another one. You know, you record another one, Haufi Le Morena, then they compare how they sound, then you choose the best one. You know, but if I can tell you something, that song, I recorded 1 take. And on the take, if you can listen to the song, Uli, when, as a person, I get you, there's a room you open to say, I want to listen this, or this specific song is going to talk to my emotion, I know. Let me go to that song. So if you listen to Haufi Le Morena, it soothe in a way, because it was recorded in a certain mood. So the inspiration, now I'm going to get to the question straight. The inspiration behind Haufi Le Morena was Lehula Papaka. And not only that, God said, this is the day for you to record this song. And people need to hear this story. You know what I love about podcasts and interviews is that these things, they stay. They will stay forever. They'll be there forever for the future generations, you know. And this is because I feel this is a story that a lot of people didn't know. This is my first time ke hlalosa story sa the recording of this song, you know. So this is to say, the inspiration to songs most of the time, yaka a certain mood that you are in, or something that had happened in your life, and then you extract whatever that you want to write about or what you want to talk about, yaka the mood, you know, because at some point the song says, "Tsela ke a e bona e nyologa, ya ga e le godimo," you know, and then it to me it takes me back to that day. My father was like, "Tsela ya ka ke a e bona, ga ne ke a sepela," you know. So that was the inspiration behind Haufi Le Morena. And my sister, it's a song that I believe Lynn, I don't know what was happening. I can't really hlalusa what was happening in studio, but with visuals that I saw, because Pinky was recording, with the visuals that I saw of what was happening, I literally broke down, because I then didn't know what was happening at the time it was happening. But when I saw the visuals, I was like, what was happening here? You know? But Haufi Le Morena came about like that.
Yo, I'm not laughing now. Oh Jesus. Get excited because I can't wait to hear your voice. So this is something that I usually do, you know, because actually this is a venting podcast where people come and vent about their own problems. Not to work perfect, but stories sa khona go fodisha nna, you know. Haufi Le Morena ke ko shelo re in touch. That's the reason why you have to come here. You have to, you know. Gorle nna o tlo mfodishe moyeng and o fodishe le ba bangwe. Le wena o to fodishe if a sa tlo fola. Because ntho ke ratileng o boletseng go gore podcast e tlo dula forever. Le wena sometimes go gopola go, you know, papa how or anything. Okay, such the video then at least. And also I will definitely put the link, you know, under the description box so that batho ba ka kgona tseba go shake bla lang ka yona. O understand? And go no bla nne go shela ya kgona go gala gore e be se wena bo pelang. You know, I don't know if I'm going to make sense. E be se wena bo pelang go sheng ela. E be le nto e be le go mo wena. And bo sone jo recorder ka nako ewe because e be le nako. Ya gore Musa a tsebiwe. I won't lie, ke khale ko bona like the feature jo bileng le jona ke khale ke di theletša, but go shae there's something special about this song. He ke ya somewhere, he ke ya kae le kae ke theletša this song. And nna ka bona I can testify gore ka nnete there is a meaning behind the song. And now that you explained why you wrote that song, it all makes sense. And I'm so glad o boletse the reason behind the song, because batho ba ntši ba ileng gore ba rata ko sha e le bona no ba tlo kgona understand or like
where was it coming from.
Wow, the guy was in pain. When he was recording this song, the guy cried uncontrollably while he was in the studio recording this song. This is a calling. So if you don't mind, are ngopelle yona, not orna ke tlo yopela. Not orna ke tlo yopela. Ya no tlo yopela na ke le shaedi. Ke gopela o ropelele yona. Then re tla jala pele ka interview.
Okay. Haufi Le Morena, haufi nyana, le ha sefapano se ka tlisa kintse ke piela go ba gaufinyana, go ba gaufinyana Le Morena, musipidieno ona kena ya samileli aro bala bushiru alora ale gaufinyana, ale gaufinyana Le Morena, mahodimo hodimo 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 khotso ayate.
Ruila re papa gage a sepela e le nako gage ya gore a ya hae re ngwanaka ke a Haufi Le Morena. And that's it banta se ke mang ke Musa. Yo, it's a lot of mama ka sure like really like because there's something special about your voice, man. I can do ke phelang ke botsa batho ba ntšha ba etla podcasting ya ka gore tlotso ke tlotso go tlotšegile no matter e go tlisetša tšhalete, no matter gore o tshwanetse gore o ketime o tlhatlhathe gore o entertaina batho o fodiša ditšhaba ge e tlotse go o tloditšwe o tloditšwe a gone motho a ka e dirang.
It's true.
So honestly, I don't know if ke papa go ba go fa breakthrough, but o go feel a breakthrough because everything about this song is beautiful. Honestly, I think this is one of your best hits.
Yeah.
Ke košeleng gore I think e go beile mmepong if you kgonne go fihliša le rena mo gore re fihle gona. So there's someone out there o leng gore o in your position or o swana le wena o lositše motswadi, you know, because like I did mention, this is a venting podcast. Ke eng into ka ratang go mo advisa ka yona because honestly you are strong. A one motho leng gore a ka re papa gage a mo le nna nouso ke sa ne di trauma honestly a swa ke ba right gore ke fete lehu la papaka. So for wena gore bile o feletse bile o di a koša ka papa ga gore ke like you have to go through that moment every day. Like you have to go through that moment every day.
That's true.
Like le no ho ya podcast then we have this video you're going to get emotional. Because ke mogopolo le gore o ka se tsogile wa tloga, no one can take.
It's there.
It's there forever.
It's there forever. What I can say to someone, you know, as I'm growing, I realize that Modimo na le sekwele. I'm realizing that you are a God's child. There's nothing that can take you away from that spore. I've seen people telling me that there's no life after losing my parent. I don't think I'll be able to be strong after losing someone close to me, be it a wife, a child, you know, or someone close to you. But with me, I've learned that the only person we have after our parents, after close people to us, is God. Whether you are going to say to me, I can't compare the love I got from my parent, but at the end of the day, you are going to bow down to God. So if there's someone that is lacking the understanding of what God means in this day and age, I feel that person doesn't know what they want in life, because I lost my father. I lost people that were close to me. Not long I lost my 2 uncles, you know, but there's this thing that I had always told myself, that I can lose them because but what I can never run away from, what can never be tainted or painted away from me, is God. The same God that brought them into this life. So if there's someone out there who wants to know more of where to go, what to do, go down on your knees. Tell the same God about the pain you are in. Give him time to heal you. The pain of losing someone that is close to you never fades away. It never runs away. To this day, I still remember what my father was wearing. I still remember what mood he was in. I still remember how weak he was. But one thing that gives me strength to date is that God has been there. God has given me strength to go and record a song that I sang with my father. God has given me strength to go into studio and to be in this position today where I have a song that is 500,000 views, you know. And that is mainly because of the amount of love God has for us. So if you are out there and you think losing someone close to you is the end of the world, forget. The end of the world is God. If bakar Modimo hlokofetse, then we can talk, then we can argue. But to this date, the same God that brought my father into my life, he took him and he was still there standing to say, "Ngwanaka ke semo. Whenever you need anything, I'm still here." So what I'll tell everyone is that the spirit of batho ba ba robetšeng siaphila. Don't even make a mistake of thinking that your father is not with you, your mother is not with you, the person you lost is not with you, because in spirit those people remain with you. That is why it was easy for me to go in studio and record the song, because it wasn't necessarily hard, because the song is here and the song is doing great. You know, that is mainly because of my father's spirit, le matla a Modimo.
Wow. You make se expect, because like I could say yo, but yeah. Yo, can't like we don't want, but yeah, yo. Modimo gona ke se segolo.
Yeah.
Lord ba be re tumelo ba tshepe.
That's true.
And you are very brave. You now never serious, you now never. Yo.